All right, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Good afternoon once again, and welcome. Welcome to the fifth part of our 6-week series on smarter online and mobile marketing. As always, we are focusing this series on the local business sector and looking to help companies anywhere from a single storefront to multi-location and large franchises better market themselves. In today's webinar, we are going to discuss branding, brand consistency, and how to build a brand for a local business, for the local business industry. This will be an exceptionally important lesson to those working in the franchise and the multi-location industry. We'll chat about how you can actually use your local stores and locations to drive exceptionally high branding efforts, and how online marketing and really the most ROI-driven campaigns and effectively manage your marketing data for brand management. As always, before we get started, just a couple quick housewarming items. If you missed last week's webinar on online and mobile marketing for the local business, you can find it on our YouTube channel. Also, the slide deck that we presented is on SlideShare, and the transcript is on our Tumblr page. All can be found by going to those specific to YouTube or SlideShare and Tumblr and typing Keybot into the search box. Also, after today, there will only be one more presentation next week. As discussed, today's will be about branding and brand consistency for the local business. Next week, November 5th, we will be diving into social elements for local and multi-location businesses. So if you're interested in learning how to get the most out of your social marketing and how to measure it properly, this one's going to be one you won't want to miss. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into branding today. As always, if you have any questions, you can submit the questions to the team through the question and answer system that's located right there in the screen share if you're joining us through Google+. If you are watching this through YouTube, please feel free to send your questions via email to mawhite@keybot.com. The address is right there again at the bottom of the slide. Just follow that, and you can send us questions right to us here at Keybot. Now, during today's presentation, we're going to walk through the following topics. Number one, what is your company, brand and brand consistency? What is your company's brand, and what does that consistency even mean? What are we talking about there? Then we're going to jump into marketing your brand and how online marketing for your brand works. Third, we're going to jump into brand consistency, why your brand consistency is so important, especially online. Number four, local brand strategy. So we're going to talk about how to develop a local business branding strategy. And then number five, we're going to talk about how local branding and brand consistency will drive corporate branding. So we're going to talk, that's going to be specifically important for any multi-location business, like we said, or franchise businesses to understand from a corporate level how your local branding is going to affect your overall system. All right, to get into all of this, let's first get a feeling for what we actually mean by branding your business and creating a consistency of that brand online. So let's go and start a company brand. So your company brand is basically how people will remember you and associate you with the products and services that you deliver. This can be, as large scale as the image people get when they hear the name Coca-Cola or Starbucks, with huge mass media exposure, all the way down to a local business. The local business's star ratings on Yelp or Google or any other rating system. This is all branding. These are all factors that tell something about who you are, what your company is, and the trust that people can put into your business. So that's brand in a nutshell. Brand consistency is how your brand is being used with or without your knowledge or your permission across the web. This is another big issue for both large and small businesses alike. On a large scale, how many people are using, from a large scale business, how many people are out there using your logos, your names, all that kind of vital information in your business in a way you wouldn't like? Or do you have old or outdated logos that are out there that people are using? It can be a problem across the scale for a lot of large businesses and small businesses. For local businesses or a franchise business, this can be very important in how your actual company messaging the identity, the visuals, all of this come across the web, specifically related to directory listings for local businesses and online citations that sometimes can actually be created, that can create a profile for you across all these directories without actually you even putting in the information yourself. They just upload information and create a citation or profile for you across their platform. We see this a lot with a lot of directories. So that can create inconsistent messaging and really kind of affect your business. Because what we see is inconsistent messaging, having a different phone number, incorrect instances of how your address or even your business name is used across the web can actually really affect your online marketing strategy, and even can affect how you're ranking in search. So you want to make sure that that consistency across your brands is really there. And we'll get into how to do that in just a minute. So let's jump into online marketing for your brand. Now that we have a consistency in what we are talking about, we know we have the consistency of what we're talking about, let's dive into what online marketing can do for your brand and brand development strategy. So of course, everybody wants to build the business and create it to be eventually at a point where it becomes synonymous for at least a group of specific customers for the products and services that you serve. So if you serve ice cream, for example, you want people to say, oh, I'm going to this store because it's part of the brand and the understanding that we have. You want people to say, I'm going to, when I'm, want a massage, I'm not going to say to my friends or whoever, I'm going to get a massage. You say, I'm going to massage envy. Or, if I am going to visit my attorney, instead of saying, I'm going to visit my attorney, I say the brand or the name of the company, the attorney's office that I'm going to. This is branding in its most basic level. It's getting people to understand your brand associated with that product or service. But how can you create this through online marketing? So there's a few different ways. Let's first kind of understand where online marketing fits into this. In 2012, time spent online surpassed time spent watching television for the first time. And since then, it's just continued to grow. Now, with more online viewership and more engaged viewership, online really should be one of your biggest, if not the largest part of your branding strategy. We're getting more people online. They're spending more time and they're engaging with brands and engaging with advertising and online systems better than they ever could on any other really, put together channel for marketing. And this is a great place that you should really be thinking a lot about how to brand yourself across the web. Some ways to do that is through, one of them. The first one I would like to always look at is brand advertising. If you miss our advertising webinar, I urge you to go check it out and learn all about the benefits and the performance of display and brand advertising. We did it last week, and I think you can really get a lot out of that. So check out that webinar to really understand what can be done there. But these are, brand advertising is going to be, again, display and brand driven advertising. They're typically more visual ads that really draw the eye, grab attention, and try to engage in messaging to your audience or get them to do something, click to your website. So there's a lot you can do with this kind of advertising. And again, that's where online becomes really interesting. Instead of just having your ad on TV, somebody watches it and moves on, you can actually try to get them to engage with your brand right from there. Number two is performance ads and SEO. This is kind of interesting one. How does performance advertising and SEO really build into my brand as a whole? But think about it this way. By building out a high quality performance ad and SEO strategy, you can actually get yourself, you can get yourself to the top of the search rank, the search engine listings. So you're ranking at the top of those listings. So that means every time someone is searching for specific keywords that relate to your business or searching for, your products or service, they're seeing your name, your branding being driven by your company, and they're being driven to your company. So just think, for example, if you serve yogurt, you're a yogurt stand, and every time somebody searches yogurt or yogurt shop or frozen yogurt, your name was right there at the top of the page and in the maps and in all these great areas right at the top of their search category. At some point, that branding is going to stick. They're going to say, I keep seeing these people because I go eat frozen yogurt once a week. I keep seeing this company. At some point, they're probably going to give your business a try. They're going to stop by your store and they're going to give you a test. So that is, SEO is a fantastic way to brand. People are going to remember seeing you over and over that way, specifically if you serve a product or service that people use on a very regular basis. Next one is directory listings. So directory listings and ratings is a big one, especially for the local businesses. When people want to buy a product or visit a store or engage in a service, we typically look at directories, we look at reviews, we look at ratings of what that business and that service is before we actually move forward with purchasing. If your directories aren't consistent, it can actually be pretty confusing for a visitor. Or if you have a bad rating, people are going to associate your business with low quality. And if actual reviews of your business, or say they're positive, they're going to give that potential visitor interest in your company and brand and potentially become a customer of yours. So the overall image of these outlets, all these different directories, and the image that you portray on your Yelp and your Google, and all these different places where people can review and rate you, are extremely important to ensuring that you have a positive brand to your customers. Positive brand and a consistent brand. Everything is the same, it looks good, and you have a very consistent and high quality platform. Next, social. Social is a big one, obviously. It's the Facebooks, the Twitters, the LinkedIn, all these different companies, all these social companies that can really drive great social engagement. Engagement of a business with potential and already developed customers. So your engagement as a company with your developed and potential customers is one of the most important parts of branding, actually. Using social, not only can you really be able to spread your message and put out your business content, but it's actually the best way we're finding right now for you as the company to talk and engage with these people. I actually can't tell you how many times I've actually seen a bad review go up on something, or a negative post about a specific company, that through social media and through that engagement, through that discussion, not only were they able to kind of turn the tables a little bit and say, hey, here's what happened, let us explain ourselves and apologize. But I've actually seen customers after that, because of the great customer service through these channels, they're singing the praises of that company. They're saying, you know what, I had a bad experience, but they really took care of me and figured things out, and good for that business. So consistent engagement with your customer is one of those, for us, it's one of the best branding tools you have in keeping yourself in front of your customers and really, them interested in your brand. And then finally, public relations. PR, public relations, is a huge brand builder. Being able to leverage this large-scale following of a news or an entertainment publication can take a company from being a small struggling business to having a huge success really overnight. It can be very fast. And with today's publications turning faster than ever to online delivery, both mobile and online, and people both young and old and anywhere in between adopting this new format with really, an overwhelming excitement to jump into more online content consumption. It really makes getting that press out there and push to display in online, and especially in mobile fashion, very, very critical. You want to make sure that you're getting press out there a lot, but you're getting it in places that your potential customers are reading, and you're making it very easy to consume by your customers. Right now, as a general population, humans are reading more magazine publications than they ever have, really because of the ease of consumption on these mobile devices. Plus the fact that through today's ad platforms that are out there and the substantial savings that these publishers are seeing, and how scalable digital reproduction is, they're actually able to start delivering this content for free that at one point you had to pay for. So again, more people are just consuming more content, more information, because it's more readily available to them. And you want to make sure that you're targeting your PR to those kind of channels so you can get really good exposure online. So now that we have an understanding of a few channels and an understanding of what we can actually do with online advertising to help with branding, let's talk about what is brand consistency, and why is brand consistency so important? Why should it be important to you? So for one thing, your online presence is typically the first and can also be the last perspective somebody is going to get on your business. So by not showing, full consistency or having a negative view on your brand, it really can be hard to overcome and redirect the mindset of that person that's just landed in a place with a poor review or a inconsistent brand across multiple different areas, it really kind of gives them a mindset about your business that it might be hard to actually switch or change. That's why creating a quality, consistent brand from the very start is so critical to the future of your business. So let's understand how we can do that. How to create consistency. So we're kind of going to go through some of the things we were talking about before, but how do you make it consistent? So directory listings, again, this is a big one. Go out and make sure that every listing that you can think of, across the entire web has your most current and correct data. Make sure you're claiming all of those. Don't let them sit there not claimed. Don't let them sit there without having your information in it. This can, the incorrect data they can pass, it can be anything from messaging to your company name, your logo, your phone. Think about if a high quality potential customer ended up on something like Yellow Pages or YP.com, which is a great system, and called into your business. Now, unfortunately, you recently had to change your phone number and you hadn't actually gone and updated YP yet. You hadn't updated that listing yet. That customer is going to remember that. So they were coming, they were potentially going to buy your product, and they weren't able to get a hold of you. They're going to think your company's probably dead or something's not right there. Or let's say you haven't updated the logo across your web and you're rebranding. You've done some rebranding and you have a new logo out there. Now someone sees your company is interested through a specific directory that you haven't updated or whatever it is. Now you try to remarket to them because you understand that they landed on your page on this directory and you want to remarket. If you want to know more about remarketing, go back to last week's webinar and learn about what advertising remarketing can do for you. But for this, you try to remarket to them and you spend that ad money. But then when they actually land on your business, or they see your ad, the logo doesn't look the same. It's completely different. Really, you just lost that potential customer because they don't realize that that's associated with your new business or with your business. And really the easiest way, and that's important. You need to make sure that consistency is there. And really the easiest way to make sure all of this works correctly is there's a couple different great companies out there, but a service like ours at Keybot, we're able to manage a ton of different directories for you through one specific portal. You have one portal to really manage all these different directories. You have an update to your phone number or your logo or whatever it is. You throw it into our system, boom, everything across the web is updated, and it makes it much easier because it can be a real nightmare trying to do it one at a time if you do have a change like that. Number 2, reviews and ratings. Get your happy customers out there writing positive reviews about you. Having consistent positive reviews and ratings about your business across the entire internet is going to be a great signifier to your potential customers that you're trusted, you're a quality brand. So develop a rapport with your customers that you have on, the people that are using your system or your products or your service, and then deliver constant or consistent quality service to that person so they get this feeling, this love for your brand, they love what you're doing, and then have them go out talking about you. Really, word of mouth and peer review is the best type of branding you're going to get. Being able to have customers that have used you and liked your service is the best way for a company to say, hey, look, we do a good job and you're going to really enjoy our service as well. And then finally, social media. Make sure your social media is consistent. This is a big one. This is especially important for the multi-location and franchise business models. All locations want and really should be able to market for marketing purpose, be able to set up their own specific social media channels and really kind of run them. If not run them, just have at least that set up so they can do some work there. The signifiers that come from social media are so huge for for search and for social interaction. And it's important that each specific location really is able to wrap their arms around their own specific social marketing. But the problem is, if you're again a franchise or a multi-location business, this can be very hard for the corporate entity to really manage. As a franchise, having a local presence for each store on social media is a great way that's showing that you are present and active in that community. But it can be hard to kind of put everything together. So and get everything to be branded the way you want it to be, to have that same messaging, that same content, that same understanding of what your business is if you're not creating. So what we do is we recommend if you are a multi-location business or a franchise or a business like that, you find there's some great services out there. Again, we have a great technology that we use to be able to manage this strategy for you, to manage all of your different social networks across all of your locations. So you do have that same language, that same messaging, that same branding that's going on. But while also being able to give your local entities, your local companies, businesses, that capability to create content on a regular basis. So that's very important. Now let's talk about a local brand strategy. So be able to create a branding strategy around your local business. Now, as we pointed out, this webinar series is very much dedicated to the local business community and helping this, that group really find the best ways to effectively market themselves. So how does a local business go about developing that branding strategy? We talked about all the processes and how it all works, but how do you do it? What do you need to do? So right here, probably the most effective ways for a business, for a local business owner to go out and directly impact his or her company's brand. Number one, claim and build out all your directories. This includes your maps and your business portals on Google, Bing. It's really makes, again, I think we've harped on this quite a bit, but those directories for a local business is huge for branding your business, and the consistency there is very important to make sure that your brand is the same across the web. Number two, ensure that all the information on your website is consistent with what's across the web. So maybe you go out and you use a great service like ours and you say, okay, this is our information across the web, and we put it out there. But I've actually seen the website not have the exact same information, and that actually can really negatively affect your ranking, your marketing efforts from an SEO perspective. So make sure that the information on the website is very consistent with everything that's across the web. And this, again, is for messaging, competitive advantages, phone number, contact information, all that kind of stuff. Number three, get busy driving happy customers to rate and review your business. I can't say this enough. The more reviews, the better reviews you have across the web, the more people are just going to trust your brand from the get-go. The more people are going to say, you know what, this brand is something that I'm excited to engage with. It's somebody that I'm trusting from the beginning, because a lot of people are saying that it's a good business and it's what I'm looking for. So get people writing reviews. There's some great tools out there to help kind of relate that to your potential customers, or to your customers you're using, saying, hey, we'd love you to talk about us, but make sure you're doing it. Just make sure you're getting people to review you. Number four, build out your social media channels. And again, we said this before, but really build them out. Make sure that they're not just up and there's something there. You want to build them out. You want to get your messaging out there. You want to make sure that it's a quality, Facebook or Twitter page. Because if somebody lands on your social media page and it's pretty much blank, they're not going to understand what to do. It actually turns people off when there's not information to consume. And so you want to make sure it's there. And stay active. Continue to update things on your social media platforms as much as possible. But don't go overboard. We definitely see companies that do it too much, and you want to make sure you balance it right. And then number five, really just do great things. Go above and beyond. Do something amazing in your community for a charity or whatever it is. Get out there and do great things in your community, and then get the press from those deeds. So you can go out there and do something great, but make sure that you're able to write about it and be able to publish some information about what you were able to put together out there. Get this press out there and help it really positively impact your company and your brand. You're going to see a lot of success out of that. And now finally, let's get into local branding and the corporate effect. How local branding and brand consistency will actually help drive a corporate branding. So this, again, is going to be very much based on multi-location or franchise businesses. And how really working hard on your local marketing and brand strategy for your for your company is really going to help build out your corporate brand in a much more effective way. What we'll show you here is some things to really help understand that if you're a multi-location business or you're a franchise business, you are local. That you are a local entity. And being able to brand yourself in that kind of a fashion is going to be very effective to help your overall strategy be more successful. So just some thoughts about why this works so well, why focusing and spending time and effort and resources on local marketing and local branding is going to be so successful for your overall corporate branding strategy. So, through local marketing, you're able to show a much higher and much more often, show up much more often for local search results. These are localized searches. There's somebody who's searching for, again, yogurt in San Francisco. It's very local to the area that we're talking about, and be able to create that branding in the minds of your potential customers. So again, when people are searching and they're looking for those products or services that they're interested in, and they're seeing your name through the maps and the top of SEO and all that kind of stuff, that's going to really drive some branding in the minds of your potential customers. And you want to make sure that you're actively working on that, because that's not going to just help that one store, but it's going to help all the other stores. If this person is to go to another city or move or whatever, they're going to remember that they were at your location in another city. That's number one. Next one, by having a well built out localized strategy, you're actually able to build a huge linking system between all of your locations in your corporate structure. So what we ask is really to look at how your localized system is set up for each specific location. Building those microsites across the web, such as we do here at Keybot, can significantly drive website authority for your corporate sites as you build a much bigger footprint across the entire web for your brand and your name. So again, having all those linked back into your corporate site is going to give your corporate site a boost in authority and ranking higher. Content creation. One of the most important parts of online marketing is content creation and getting information out there. So think about if you had the opportunity for each location to be building quality content like blogs and videos and customer appreciation stories, those kinds of things. This is able to build, again, a much larger footprint across the internet. You're just having more and more content be pushed out, and it really gives you, as a franchise or multi-location business, the opportunity to really benefit from this it's a crowdsourcing effect, really. You're able to pull in all this great content, pull in all this great data, and distribute it across the web without you as the corporate entity having to do all the work for it. So it's a great way to really help drive local branding through content creation. Reviews and ratings, again, this is, we talked about this over and over, but if you have 1,000 locations, say, and you're getting each one of your local businesses to get reviews and positive ratings, this just means that everywhere someone goes, they're going to see those great reviews and great ratings, and your company as a whole is going to just see this expanse of quality people talking about the quality of your business, quality of your service, quality of your product. And again, it's kind of that crowdsourcing effect. Get all of your locations out there working on this, and it's just going to build your brand to be bigger and better. And then finally, brand consistency. By being part of your location's online development from the beginning and helping them build out their social systems and their directory listings, you can actually protect your overall business from the discrepancies that you might get in your messaging and your images, your content distribution, your logos, all that kind of stuff. So really kind of think about it this way. You can either manage it from the start and ensure quality, or you're going to have to just fix it in the long run. Because really, local owners of franchises and businesses, they're going to want to be able to market themselves. And no matter whether you say you can or you can't, I've worked with a lot of different franchises that say, we don't let our franchisees go and build social networks, and we don't let them, go out there and do directory submissions. But then you go and look at a specific location, and they have tons of things built out, and they've built themselves other sites, and they've built themselves all these things because they want to market themselves. They bought into this, and they want to make money, and they want to build their business, and they want to market themselves. So by just closing your eyes to the fact, you're going to end up dealing with it later. Or if from the beginning you set up really great strategies to help them with their local marketing through these channels, you're going to see just a much, much better overall return, and you're going to be able to control that brand and control the consistency of your company in a much more effective way. So that's our information for today. I hope this was very informative to the people out there listening, and hope it was kind of gave people the ability to understand exactly what we're talking about when it comes to branding. Really, branding is one of the most important parts we feel of running any business, and having a quality, well-formed image of your company in the eyes of your consumers is going to be really the difference between growth and failure. We work with a lot of different local businesses, franchise businesses, multi-location businesses, helping them understand this and helping them put good local brand strategies together. So give us a call or shoot us an email. Again, my email is right there at the bottom, and we can chat further about the systems we have in place for this. We can chat about what it talk more deeply about what it is for local to have a good brand, and really understand what we can do for you. So I think, William, are there any questions that came in?
Yeah, a few. The first one's about directories. I've seen some list hundreds. How do I know which ones are important?
So that is a great question, actually. We work with a lot of different companies in helping them build that directory brand strategy. I would say the best place for you to go is to talk to somebody that's in the industry and understand the difference between quality directories and low quality directories. So what we see is there are thousands of directories out there, and there's definitely a handful of them. There's probably between 50 and 100 directories that you definitely should be on, because it's going to create great linking to your company. It's going to, people actually use these directories, and it's going to help you build your business. But there's a lot out there that can actually affect your business negatively too. If you get listed on directories that have really low page rank scores by Google or Bing, it can actually negatively affect, because it looks like you're trying to cheat the system. It's what we call black hat SEO. It's trying to go out there and just buy your way to the top of SEO rankings. So it's hard to answer that question. How do you, what are the good ones? What are the bad ones? I can't really just sit here and go through all the good and bad ones on this webinar right now. But if you give us a call or email us, we'd love to chat with you and show you, who it is we use. And I'm very open to showing you the directories that we help our clients list on, and really understand what you should be looking at when you're kind of building that strategy. Anything else?
Next, what do I do about the bad reviews?
Gotcha. So bad reviews, that's a tough one. So if you feel the review has been, wrongly written, or that there was, some spiteful reason that somebody had put that review together for you, there are processes you can go through, specifically through Yelp or through Google, to get reviews that were not written well, or for whatever reason didn't make sense for your business or the experience that person had. You can get them removed. It is tough though. So there's definitely some hardships that you have to go through to get those done. If you work with a couple, if you work with companies like us, we do have relationships that we can help kind of mediate that at times, but there's no promise on what we can do either. It's really up to those platforms and understand what they can do. The best suggestion I have, if you do have a negative review, try to reach out to that person that wrote it. Try to get an idea of what the actual issue was, and try to remedy it. I've seen, again, a lot of people get bad reviews. A lot of companies get bad reviews. They reach out, and a bad review can actually be a really good signifier and something you need to improve upon. If for some reason somebody you get a couple different people saying the customer service is bad, well, guess what? Maybe you should look at your customer service and figure out how to remedy that. And then you can talk to those those customers and say, hey, sorry you had a bad experience. Please come in again. We would love to show you how we've upgraded or updated our policies on whatever the issue was. We'll even give you, say you're a restaurant, we'll give you a free meal to come in and check out what we've changed. And a lot of times you do something like that, these people will be happy to come check it out again. And a lot of times they'll either remove their listing or their bad review, or they or they'll edit it, which can be helpful for you as well. And the other thing is just go out there and get a lot of good reviews too. So if you have, there's just going to be negative people out in the world. So if you get a bad review here and there, but you have an overwhelming amount of good reviews, you're going to be able to mediate that and say, yeah, okay, somebody had a bad experience. There's going to be negative experiences with anything anybody ever does. And it's not something they can happen. Think of Disneyland, for example. I'm sure most people go to Disneyland and have a great time. There's people that go to Disneyland and fall and have a problem or an issue and get hurt or whatever it is. And they didn't have the same experience. So again, just go out and get those good reviews as much as possible. Anything else?
No, there's one that came in over email, but there's a more thorough response, so we'll get back to you shortly.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks for joining us today. Like I said, any questions, any thoughts, you just want to discuss local marketing or local branding, you have my my information here. Email us at success@keybot.com if you want to talk about our products and our services. You can email me at mawhite@keybot.com to just chat about what online marketing is, or give us a call. Phone number's right there on the screen as well. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next week.